and dry ingredients. These are the wet ingredients. You need olive oil and milk and half a cup of olive oil and milk, 4 bananas that are ripe but bad, and then 2 eggs. The dry ingredients you need: plain flour. It has to be plain flour. You can have gluten-free, you can have wholemeal, you can have just white plain flour, and it needs to be 2 cups of either of them, like a handful, or add all you want of the planters, like a sprinkle of cinnamon, a teaspoon of baking soda, and baking powder. Then for the materials, you would need a big bowl. You would need a fork, a spoon, a metal wooden spoon, and a metal spoon to scrape it out at the end. And then you would need a tin, like a bread pan or like a pan, and you would need paper towel, like you would need this type of baking paper, and you would probably not need that, but if you would normally have spray, but if you don't have spray, then you can just wipe the olive oil, just put a drop of olive oil in and just wipe it on the bottom and around the sides, and then just stick it like you usually would, and that's all. With the supervision of an adult, preheat the oven to 160, or the adult can do it for you. So, it's not very hard to really make a banana bread, because all you need to really do is just get all the ingredients and put them in the oven. But the key is to actually just put the wet ingredients in first, and then the dry ingredients in second, and then just really cook them. So then don't forget the milk and the olive oil. Half a cup of milk and then half a cup of olive oil. And remember to just keep on mixing. And make sure your assistant puts things away so you don't have a big mess in the end like this. Imagine this. And make sure you put bicarbonate soda and baking soda, because they make the cake right. But you might need to put them through a whisk, because they can get really clumpy. If you do want a little bit of pizzazz in it, you can put a little sprinkle of cinnamon if you like it. And now we're going to put the 2 cups of flour in. And remember to make sure it's exactly 2 cups. And that's about 2 cups. Today we're using gluten-free flour, but just plain gluten-free flour. But you can use like wholemeal plain flour or white plain flour. Just remember to definitely always use plain flour. And now mix everything in, and then it will be ready to put in the oven. And remember to scrape down the edges. And you might need an adult's help to put it in the pan, because it might. If your family isn't gluten-free, I wouldn't recommend using it if your family isn't gluten-free, because it's really sticky and really hard to mix. So I would rather use wholemeal or white. And this is my dad just putting it in the oven. And then it goes in the oven. And then you set it for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Right now, it's just finished and this is the baking. So it looks like that. And now after all that baking and all that hard work, these are the results. And it smells really good. I just want to eat it all. I'm about to go in and give my mom the final result.
What do I have here?
Banana bread.
Did you make it?
Mm-hmm.
It's warm.
Do you like it?
Oh, it's delicious.